If you're like me, you like transparent electronics, so today we're going to do that with the back of the ROG Ally using HandheldDIY's Modcase. But it's not just the look, there's actually a lot of functionality with this. So on the inside there's a heat plate, and this comes with a little heat pad that you can put in the center, and this is going to absorb most of your heat, and any remainder will just spread out over this. I will be testing this heat plate out using my ROG Ally's original backplate versus this backplate while I'm playing Battlefield 2042 to see if I get any improved temperature difference. And I'm going to show you the full installation guide. It's really easy, I promise. On the bottom here there's a little rubber grip pad, but this also works as a kickstand. And it doesn't end there. They also included this watch strap, so you can strap whatever you like to the back of this, like a battery bank for example. I'll show you how this goes on later. If you buy this stock, you'll have this nameplate here, HandheldDIY, which is the company that makes these. But you can get a customized nameplate, so they were kind enough to send over Batpixel. And I'll also give you a discount code on this during the video as well. Something else that they've included which will really help you out are these spacers at different sizes. You get 4 different sizes, so these go from 0.1mm up to 0.4mm. Basically what these spacers do is when you put on this new backplate, you can space out your back button so you make sure that it has a good click and the right amount of movement, and you just put spacers in here. Besides the instructions and QR codes, this is everything that comes in the box, and a Phillips screwdriver with some extra screws if you need them. But this came in the mail separately, so just keep in mind if you buy this with a customized nameplate, all this might show up first and then this will show up at a later date. So if you're giving this as a gift to someone, you might want to give yourself a bit of time so you can let everything show up in the mail. Like I said, this is really easy to do. All you need for step 1 is the screwdriver that came with it, and all we're going to do is unscrew these 6 screws here, and then once this back plate is off, we'll just unscrew these 4 buttons so we can use them on the new plate. You can see where I have the screws out, the back plate will kind of come out, but if you do need help to get this off, just use a little thin plastic object. And you can see I just let everything loose with an SD card reader. So we got the back plate off, and one thing that you should note, this center screw on the bottom is shorter than all the others. But like I said, they do give you extra screws just in case you need them. But we still need our 4 buttons here, so what I'm going to do is set this aside for now. If you look inside, you'll see that there's just 1 screw for these buttons, and for your triggers, there's just 2 screws each, so it's really not complicated. I took one of the back button screws out. It also has a little spring with it, so make sure to keep those together for when we put it on the new plate. Now that we've got everything unscrewed, we just need to push out these back buttons. So I'm going to use the screwdriver and just push on them. And if you need to keep track of your buttons, M1 goes with your right trigger and M2 goes with your left trigger. And you can kind of see that if you hold it like this. So before I assemble this, I'm going to put the customized Batpixel nameplate on here. This is just glued on, and on the back there's a little hole. So I'm going to use my screwdriver and just push this out. And there you go. You can see the fonts are different too. I actually really like the font on this. So just take the back off the adhesive. That looks awesome. So all I'm going to do now is just put my buttons back on. I'm not going to use any spacers the first time I put this on because it might fit just fine. With your triggers, you'll have to push it down so that this part rests on here. And you can see your 2 screw holes, but these tiny holes go on these little tiny plastic pieces sticking up here and here. Just like that. If you do need to adjust it afterwards, this little cross right here is where the spacers go. Don't forget your heat pad. If you've ever taken any art courses, this kind of reminds me of like a kneaded eraser, and it feels cold. So just put that here right in the center. And yeah, this is ready to assemble. That was all really easy to do. All I have to do now is just screw this on with those 6 screws. I can tell that my buttons are not clicking right, so before I put the screws in, I'm going to put some spacers here. I noticed that after I assembled this, there was not much movement in the button whatsoever, so I'm going to try the biggest spacer at 0.4mm, and if that's too much, I'll work my way down. I'll put these on both sides and see how they fit. So that seems about right. I got my button clickiness back, so all I have to do now is just screw in the 6 screws. Another thing that I've noticed is that after I screwed these in, these buttons are a lot clickier now, which is perfect. You can also get some other colors on their website, like the transparent white case that I'm using. You can also get solid white and transparent purple. This is also where you can customize the nameplate and order a blank nameplate if you want to engrave it yourself. And they have a bunch of other products on their website, so check out what they got and there might be some really useful things for you. So besides the fact that this looks really cool as a transparent gaming device, let's go over a couple of features with this and then test the temperature. So the watch strap that comes with this comes in 2 pieces, and all you have to do to install it is just slide it in on the side. And you'll still want to be able to use your kickstand, so just take this strap and put it up underneath so it's not in the way. So I just got a generic battery bank here. This is not for my Ally, but I just want to show you how this works. So you can just put whatever you want on the back of here. So this battery bank is huge and it's not meant for my Ally, but if you do have a battery bank, then this is a great addition to strap on the back. And really, you could put anything back here that you want it. For example, if I wanted to take Rhino from Spider-Man with me on the go while I'm gaming, I can fully do that now. No problem at all. And the kickstand on the back works really well, so you can stand your Ally up. So I'm playing Battlefield 2042, and I'm not focused on my gameplay so much as the temperature right here. So I'm using the normal backplate right now, and my temperature seems to stick around 90 degrees, 92 degrees, something like that. I'm plugged in using turbo mode. I have my screen brightness all the way up. I'm using 120 Hz, 1080p resolution with my CPU boost on. So right now you can see using the normal backplate, my temperature is at 76 degrees. This can go as high as 95 degrees when I'm playing. So I'm really curious to see if the new backplate will bring my temperature range down. And something interesting that's happening is that where I have the new plate on, my temperature's staying down in the 80s for its max. It hasn't hit up in the 90 degrees at all while I've been playing, so for my maximums, it is lower, so that's really cool. And right now it's sitting at 73 degrees, so it is going down in the low 70s, and I haven't hit the 90 degrees mark at all, which is a great result. So that heat pad that we put in here and this heat plate seems to actually work. I've watched other YouTube videos about this product and they've had the same temperature result as well, so having a lower temperature on the ASUS ROG Ally is really helpful. So if you want to pick one of these up from HandheldDIY, use my 10% discount code BATPIXEL. I'll have my affiliate links and their normal non-affiliated website links down below. And if you're into the ASUS ROG Ally, I have a bunch of videos giving you a ton of tips on how to get the best performance out of it, and I have other accessory review videos as well.